being joined by Nalin Kohli of the BJP joining us as well. Please stay on with us, Mr. Chaudhary. Mr. Kohli, thank you for joining us here. Your first reaction to this development coming in, because China has tried 2 times before to rename Arunachal Pradesh's areas. Third time being made, but this time Mallikarjun Kharge directly attacking the Prime Minister.
This perhaps is born more out of a frustration that the Congress party and its leadership is feeling with regards to the work and performance of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji's government on all fronts, whether it is development, whether it is foreign policy, whether it is in securing India's interests, whether it is transforming India into a new India in terms of the future in economic development, infrastructure, caring for the poor, etc. Now, what can be more ironical than what Mr. Kharge says, who's such a senior leader? It is the Congress party, and it is no less than Rahul Gandhi ji, who sought to meet secretly the Chinese ambassador, as the media had reported, during one of the confrontations with China. Perhaps it was Doklam. It is the Congress party that entered into an agreement with the Communist Party of China. It is Mr. Rahul Gandhi who always chooses to question the armed forces, as also other Congress leaders, when their valor is on display in protecting the motherland, whether it is Valkot, whether it is surgical strikes, armed forces, and what they say about our border issues across the country. So this statement is not borne by facts. This statement is an incorrect representation, perhaps, because if one really has to study the complex issue of border, the complex border issue with China, then perhaps Mr. Kharge, being such a senior person, would do well to go back into history and start with Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and look at the history of the border, the lands that have been given away, particularly Aksai Chin, the famous statements by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru with regard to the utility of that land or the lack of utility of those lands, the fact that these could not and were not resolved for several decades that the Congress was in power, going back to the 1962 war from Indian Chini Bhai Bhai, that is from the Great Brotherhood, to literally the Indian positions being challenged by lack of preparation. If it were not the valor of the armed forces at that time, exemplary bravery against all odds, perhaps India's situation would have been worse than what it was. It was the will of Indians who wanted to defeat the Chinese forces and not allow the motherland to be swamped by them that showed what a display. And we must compliment and thank our forefathers and those who were in the armed forces for that display of valor. So the Congress party must bear in mind, every time you show one finger one way, 3 points to you.
Right. Thank you so much, Nalin Kohli, BJP National Spokesperson, for joining us. Getting some more breaking